local, late breaking. This is Newswatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6:30 on November 17th. Welcome to Newswatch 12 this morning. You're taking a live look at Ashland from the Oregon Shakespeare Festival. I'm Danny Stepanovich, but first we want to turn over to Storm Tracker 12 meteorologist Sarah Kress. Sarah, what can we expect today?
Yeah, today you can expect some light showers across the region, but this morning is really when we're going to see most of that action. But a live look out across the region, we're dealing with overcast skies, mostly cloudy into some areas, but in general, a very gloomy start to your work week. Here's a look out at radar, what we're tracking this morning. Light showers across most of the region, and even seeing some higher elevation snow, but it's not going to be amounting to much. This morning we're waking up with those snow levels around 5,000 to 6,000 feet. We're not expecting to see any travel impacts this morning through those passes, but current temperatures, it is feeling rather chilly. We're sitting at 48 for Medford, over to Klamath Falls 42, Lakeview 39, over to Montague at 45, Grants Pass 48, and Brookings as well sitting at 48. There will be most of that rain falling overnight, and lots of it into the Mount Shasta area where we're sitting at nearly about 3/4 of an inch, lesser amounts areas inland. But for today, we can expect light showers to continue on, won't be amounting to much, and we could see some higher totals into the southern Siskiyou County area and maybe some coastal areas, like coastal mountain ranges, but it isn't going to be anything hugely impactful. But what you might notice, it is going to be on the cooler side today. In general, temperatures sitting right at average or just a little bit below, so cool and gloomy Monday ahead. Now it is going to be a bit breezier along those coastal areas and into some higher terrains into Shasta Valley this morning. It is a bit gusty as well. We'll see those winds settle down as we work later into the day today. But starting tomorrow, we'll be on the drier side, dealing with some morning fog, and some cooler mornings are ahead, especially waking up into your Wednesday morning. So I'll let you know what to expect coming up again in just a bit. Danny?
Thanks, Sarah. We start the week off with some great news for airline travelers. Starting today, the FAA will lift its flight reductions at 40 airports around the country. A few days ago, the FAA cut the number of flights at these airports by at least 4% because of the federal government shutdown. A joint statement from them and the Transportation Secretary cites, quote, safety trends and the steady decline of staffing trigger events in air traffic control facilities.
It appeared that air traffic controllers are working. The call outs are minimal and they're all getting bonuses now if they came to work. So I think the morale there is up, as well as the TSA. I think the things we should be looking out for are weather related incidents that could kind of throw the system out of whack or outages. But overall, I think things are looking good.
The news sounds like a relief for those flying over Thanksgiving weekend. According to TSA data, it's the busiest air travel period of the year. Experts say passengers should still check airline apps for delays or cancellations, but for more typical reasons like weather. And in California, more good news. The state is celebrating record wins in education. The new 2025 school dashboard shows graduation rates at a record 87.5%, up 4.5 points since 2017. Chronic absenteeism for transitional kindergarten through 8th grade students has decreased to 17.1%, improving more than 10 percentage points from 2022. In addition, college and career readiness rose by 3.1 percentage points, with 51.7% of graduates prepared for the future.
In town today, where these goats are helping the Phoenix Talent School District clear all of this vegetation, but they're not done there. They still have a lot more to go down this area right here.
I'll be honest, ever since we started with the goat project, I kind of enjoy seeing them. They're very therapeutic.
Therapeutic was for sure the best way to describe these goats. As much as these goats love to nibble on you for attention, these goats actually have a multi-use purpose.
Well, I happened to be at a conference talking about ways to get away from herbicides, and I found out Springfield was using a few goats to do that. So I got the idea to come back, and I approached the ag teacher, and we've partnered together.
The partnership with the Phoenix High School agriculture teacher Melissa Madsen has created something special by giving students hands-on experience, providing vaccinations and preventative care. It all started with 2 baby goats, Mia and Tia, being donated to the school district back in January.
We take the babies out to like the elementary. We've taken goats out to the middle school for the students to actually try to get interested in agriculture and animal sciences and things to help grow the program at the high school.
A trailer was built for the goats to sleep in, along with a 250-gallon water tote. And although these goats are eating all day, they are constantly being watched by not only McCaleb, but by his staff and even Melissa Matson.
I come out here daily, but it's usually for 5 minutes. I check to make sure they have water, make sure they still have a good food supply, and check on their overall health, and then I take off. My guys periodically check on them because they're working in the area. So they get checked on quite a bit, way more than they need.
Every day, these goats make progress eating blackberries and weeds, making the school grounds more fire resilient. But from giving the students a unique learning experience to eliminating fire fuels and being plain attention seekers, these goats are staying for the long haul.
The ag department wants this to be a continuing year after year growing program to get more students into ag. I know from our end, there's always going to be a need for a natural weed removal, herbicide replacement, so we'll always be able to use them.
It was a busy weekend at Rogue X with 175 vendors and hundreds of people packing the holiday makers market. Booths lined the inside courts, offering everything from vintage sweaters to handmade ornaments and antique holiday finds. Among the niche vendors was Synth, a local baker who reignited her passion for chocolate making after tasting sweets from Dubai. Now she's celebrating the season by spreading a little local joy through her homemade treats.
I'm 70 this year, and I'm like, are you kidding me? But here I am, and it's just been fun. And I told him, I said, as long as it's fun, I'm in. As the minute it stops being fun, I'm out.
Synth started making chocolates in August, and since then her small business has quickly grown, traveling to holiday markets across the Rogue Valley. And if you missed this weekend's market, many vendors, including Synth, will be at the Holiday Makers Market in Talent on November 29th and 30th. And in Phoenix, young chefs from across Southern Oregon stepped out of their classrooms and into a high-pressured kitchen showdown on Saturday. From sizzling skillets to creative plates, these students brought more than skill. Newswatch 12's Daryl Green takes us to the kitchen.
The next group of rising culinary stars are turning up the heat. Here at Phoenix High School, 12 teams from 7 schools are battling it out in Southern Oregon's first ever high school kitchen clash.
They go to school all week and then they still come and spend the whole day in the kitchen. It's amazing.
As students throughout the Rogue Valley and beyond competed in the high school kitchen clash, they remained anxiously optimistic. 1 through 10, what's your confidence level right now?
I would say like an 8.5.
Students were judged on kitchen skills, creativity, taste, and presentation by a panel of professional chefs. And prior to the vote, one student shared his thoughts with me on how he'd react to winning the competition and how he'd use the prize reward of a cutting board.
I would be so stoked. I would bless all the other competition. I think I'd have to make my mama a really good meal tonight. I love her a bunch, and she taught me how to cook, so I think it's only right if I take this cutting board home, I use it to cook her something really good.
What Rogers didn't know is that his group would actually end up winning.
First place, and I will tell you, this was not even close. The chefs were like, that food was unbelievable. Ashland, round 2.
At the end of the event, students gathered to celebrate with each other and their respective schools. Reporting in Phoenix, I'm Daryl Green.
And in Central Point, Lou's Loafs is continuing their Feed Our Neighbors No Barriers pre-made meal pickup for the 3rd week in a row. When they learned November SNAP benefits were being paused, they decided to step in, launching a donation-based meal program for anyone who needs it, no questions asked. Last week, they gave out 128 meals for free to people in need and will continue offering free meals until they run out of donations.
Can just show up, tell us how many meals they would like, and then we'll give them to them and they can take them home, reheat them, and eat them as they need. We are really passionate about bringing that increased access to Central Point. We thought we would take this opportunity to really extend out into our community, to our neighbors.
Pickup is on Mondays from 3 to 5 p.m. at their storefront location. Young says they'll keep cooking as long as donations continue to come in. For more information on the meals or how you can donate, visit our website. And for art fans, get ready for Clayfolk's Fall Show and Sale, Southern Oregon's largest display of handmade pottery. The event will feature over 70 ceramic artists, and attendees can watch live pottery making demonstrations or let the whole family get their hands dirty themselves. The show runs November 21st through the 23rd at the Medford Armory. Admission is free and a great opportunity to do some holiday shopping and support local artists. You can find specific times on our website at kdrv.com. And we're continuing our annual holiday food drive to fill an entire semi-truck with groceries. We've collected 1,800 bags of groceries for our Stuff the Truck campaign, meaning we still need 4,600 bags. If you want to help us bring supply local food pantries for local families, you can visit any Ray's food place and buy a $25 bag of groceries at checkout. You can also head over to kdrv.com to make a monetary donation.
And this morning we are tracking out some showers, but mainly into the morning is when we'll see most of them. We'll start to see the coverage dwindle a bit as we're into the afternoon, and evening and overnight is when we see those showers wrap up for a dry Tuesday. And our Wednesday is going to be mainly dry as well, but our next storm system is going to be arriving late. But the big impact the next few days definitely isn't going to be the rain. I'll let you know exactly what that is coming up in your next forecast.
Also coming up, President Trump urging House Republicans to vote to release the Epstein files this week. Thanks for choosing Newswatch 12 to start off your morning.
You're watching